When you want an exotic meal and you don't want to spend hours in the kitchen, have I got a recipe for you. This is chicken rendang. I've got all the shortcuts and it'll be packed with all the flavors. Hey everyone, I'm Flo, Dudeist behind the camera, and we're all about simple food, simple faith. When we want Malaysian food at home, we often will start with a paste. My mother-in-law would buy pastes and bring them home from Malaysia for us, but now these pastes are readily available in your Asian supermarkets or even online. Today, I really don't feel like cooking, so I'm gonna use even more shortcuts today because I just can't be bothered. I'm starting with 3 pounds of chicken. I have 8 chicken thighs here. We prefer dark meat, that's why we're eating chicken thighs, but if you want, you can use a whole chicken cut in parts, or you can use chicken breasts. It's totally up to you. Okay, turning my stove on to medium high, adding 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, corn oil, cooking oil, whatever oil you want to use is fine. We're just gonna wait for that to heat up. I'm gonna cook these in batches, so 4 at a time. And because I have decided not to marinate, I'm just going to cook them skin side down first. And we're gonna cook them for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. While the chicken is browning, I'm going to prepare the rest of my ingredients. I've got 3 shallots. You can use 2 to 3 depending on the size. And I'm just going to mince these up. So normally what I would do is chop it up and then I would put it in a mortar or pestle and grind it up into a paste. But I'm not going to do that today. We're going to see if all of these little shortcuts will affect the overall flavor of the dish. Okay, turning them over. 4 cloves of garlic. My mother-in-law told me that if you see your garlic sprouting like that, you need to remove that piece because otherwise it will be it adds a bitterness to the garlic. So it's very easily removed. I'm just gonna run the garlic through the garlic press. I'm also adding 2 lemongrass stalks, and you just want the last 2 to 3 inches of a stalk of lemongrass. And I'm just gonna pound these because I just want the flavor to come out in the curry. And removing the chicken thighs now. I'm gonna do the second batch. These ones look better. It's me being impatient, not waiting for my pot to heat up completely before I added that first batch of chicken.
Can't be bothered.
I removed some of the chicken fat, and I'm turning my stove back on to medium low now. When the pot is hot again, we're adding our shallots in. Cook that for about a minute. I left about a tablespoon of the fat in the pot. Adding in my garlic. I'm going to stir fry this for about 30 seconds, just until the garlic is fragrant. We're going to use the whole package of our paste. Now you could adjust it however you like. The paste is quite spicy, so it's up to you. We're going to use the whole thing. And we're going to let this cook for about 3 to 4 minutes. All right, so the paste has cooked a little bit. It's turned a darker brown. I'm adding my lemongrass in there along with my chicken. And any juices. 1 can of coconut milk. half a cup of water. Whoop. Stir this around a little bit if we can. And then we're going to let this simmer with the lid off for about half an hour. And normally I would probably try to simmer for about an hour, but I don't think you need a whole hour to still get really tender chicken. All right, this was half an hour. The chicken is definitely cooked through, but the curry is more watery than I expected it to be. I expected the curry to be more dry at this point, but maybe I need to cook it longer. Maybe that's why I need to cook it for an hour. But I'm going to remove the chicken, and well, I wanted it to still be a tasty dish, which it will be, I believe. Dude will let you know. First of all, I'm going to skim this oil because this is where all the heat is, all this chili oil, and it can be quite brutal.
Yeah, it's not heat, it's just straight spicy.
Yeah, so I'm going to remove some of it, and that will take down some of the heat. But because this curry is so watery and rendang is not supposed to be like that, I'm going to let it boil and reduce for about 10 minutes on the stove and see if I can get it to a drier state. So I'm just leaving a thin layer of chili oil now, but check it how much I took out. That would be like fire down your throat.
Yeah, and if you guys like that tight level of spiciness, go 100%. I dare you.
So I reduced it for about 10 minutes. It is much thicker and even darker. And if you have that extra 10 minutes, I would suggest doing that. Otherwise, if you don't want to do that, it's fine. The curry would still be delicious. All right, see how thick this curry is compared to earlier? We're just gonna pour this all over the chicken. Just garnishing with a little bit of cilantro. And if you don't like cilantro, you don't have to do this at all. All right, are you all ready for?
Yep. Food from the motherland, so good. Every time Flo cooks some Malaysian food, it's exciting times. Maybe not so much for the kids with all the spiciness, but the show must go on. Dude, it's bigger than I thought. And the thickening of the sauce was very necessary. Look at that. Just oozing, covering everything. Very necessary. 10 minutes, that's all it took, right? All right, get into that sauce. Oh yeah. Yeah. So it isn't the full-blown rendang or the Malaysian curry that you had done with the mortar and pestle, gathering all the ingredients. You simplified the level of stuff that you did, and you reduced the time that you took to cook the dish. And it's like, yeah, shortcuts still for the win.
Awesome, thanks, dude.
Yeah.
So let's talk about cost. This dish was less than $15. That feeds my family of 4 with leftovers. If you want to check out my beef rendang recipe, it's in my cookbook Elevated. And for the recipe, check it out. I will see you over there.